steel toe boots. Dragon Zero marching on these steel toe boots. Gonna empty them of some tiny rocks. We're gonna go marching roundabout. We're gonna be heading west. Steel toe boots. March special, yours truly, Dragon Zero, gonna be on the march for world peace, international justice, securing and ensuring global freedom and attaining harmony between civilization and nature is the mission, vision, and philosophy of the dancing goddess. And the Dragon Kingdom. Let's see. Good to go. Monitor the laces so I don't slide. It's a bit chilly, so we'll be putting these gloves. These gloves have received as a gift. I've dropped my napkin. I use it to blow my nose. Took it out of the pocket and had it with the glove. Love these gloves, were gifted by my sister friend teacher, who has a fourth dimension to that trinity of sister friend teacher. For the moment in time, many ways, my one and only financial sponsor, and she has been my family for many years. I love her a lot. If I'm broke financially, rich in kisses, push-ups, hard squats, rants, philosophy, dance moves, art, creativity, and poetry, and of course rap songs, and hugs, and massages, and washes with that. His bank account is in the minus, in the red. It's not about the money. It's not about the money. First and foremost, if I would have any financials or gold or jewels, I would give half to my sister. She paints. She's also a great artist, anonymous, gifted by Mother Nature, who is the greatest artist and scientist, whose trees are but the hair on the goddess's body. See the mighty trees around this concrete. Hawkeye to Montreal. Saluting the bus driver. So if anybody first, I'd make some charity and finance my sister's art painting to paint, and she did some great painting. Yours truly marching now west. We're heading west, that direction. Omicron is on the increasing cases are exponential. Exponential cases, lockdown again, semi-lockdown with curfew from 10 p.m. to 5 p.m. Wash your hands please when you step outside. Increasing hygiene when you go in and out of a public building, even private, which is not your own domain, or public. Right now, of course, I'm on the march. I could have stayed home, stayed in bed, or do XYZ. I decided, since it is an investment in the body and an investment, and of course with the scenarios, the Dragon Army emergency scenarios, workout sessions and marching sessions, just as of course my scenario, which predates COVID and resembles COVID by 93 days, it predates it and resembles it in many ways, including the financial crisis. I'm referring to the scenario, which of course is continuing, as yesterday I began a 40-day journey, new rite of Dragon Zero. Yours truly becoming Dragon Zero, born dragon. Nobody's born a dragon is the motto of the Dragon Army. On the march now, heading west on these steel toe boots. Let it be known that yours truly is not taking any orders. I am double vaccinated. I love my hygiene. I'm not perfect, far from it. Got vices, got lusts. I go a little wild with that rock and roll, and that poetry let my mane out. Unlike the leaders of the free world, you won't see Adrian H. Dragonborn reading off of a piece of paper, saying now we're in a crisis and we need change. Unless it's statistics, technical issues, or radio telecommunication or satellite information. Please stop sending me 56,000 page documents. My parallel self in a parallel life. Science, innovation, and technology is my chosen path. In this path it is philosophy, theory, sexuality, psychology, art, the irrational, emotional life, the spiritual life, sexual life. But they can go hand in hand together, just like 2 + 2 = 4. Doesn't mean we have to write 2 + 2 = 4 in only one color, only in white or only in black or only in red. The official color of the Dragon Army is red. The Dancing Goddess Army, complementary armies, is green. And rainbow for the Phoenix. This is the Special Phoenix People's Party March. So back to the equation before diverged. Doesn't mean that if we can write 2 + 2 = 4 in so many different colors. We can write first two we write red, R-E-D, the plus one line in black, the other one in white. The two we can write it in green, and the equal sign, one black line, one white line, and the equal sign, one black, one white, and the 4, one line in purple, one line in blue, and the other line in orange. So thus we have all the colors of the rainbow in that equation. 2 + 2 = 4. We don't have to write it all in red, all in green, or all in black, or all in black and white. We can add the rainbow to the black and the white. As much as we'd love to live in a black and white world, there's a lot of gray, and in my case, being a rainbow dragon member of the LGBTQ community, our flag, as I've lectured before, the colors of the rainbow embody the intensity and complementary of different colors and the unity in that diversity. But of course it has to be also by action. Action. Love is action, not just blah blah blah. So this march is calling all willingly living to support the mission, vision, and philosophy of yours truly, Adrian Hanna Dragon, as marching on these steel toe boots for the workers, farmers. And the farmers' hands need to be kissed, bodies massaged, and feet washed. And I'll do it with you. That's my call to the leaders of the free world. And any leader of the free world, if any leader of the free world, the Vrij Welt, Le Monde Libre, before they want to give me any order, I gotta march in steel toe boots. Nothing personal, Mr. Justin Trudeau. How's that Westmount cup of tea doing? I'm not against the rich, not against the poor, not against the middle class. I'm for the people, from the people. I am for change. I'm not perfect, far from it. I believe at this crucial moment in time, it is with solutions that we gotta focus on, and believe in my citizen integration theory, CIT, democratic fusion theory, and debt refusion theory to be the best, complemented by others' best solutions, which I am advocating for and have been advocating since July 24, 2020. Due to COVID resembling my scenario in a paradoxical, providential, and parallel manner. So what I'm referring to, of course, is that back in 2019, yours truly, world peace advocate, independent student, scholar of history, wars, geopolitics, and civilization, alarmed by what was going on in the world, had analyzed geopolitical events which had transpired. The main one was the US-China trade war, which was began by the Trump administration in 2018 with the imposition on tariffs on more than 665 billion worth of goods from China. So taking that into consideration, another geopolitical events such as the arrest of Meng Wanzhou, aka Kathy Meng, by the RCMP, Royal Canadian Mounted Police, in order to honor an extradition treaty with the USA. In order to honor an extradition treaty with the... smells good. With the USA, have created, designed, and made the General War Integrated Total Body Training System, aka the Dragon Army Workout, designed, made, and created to go hand in hand with a World War III scenario, which in an eerie, paradoxical, providential way resembles the COVID-19 health and financial crisis. My scenario, what triggers World War III, in my scenario, is a global stock market crash, which triggers a global financial collapse, which subsequently triggers World War III. Now due to COVID, the global financial crash, the stock market crash triggering a global financial crisis. The worst financial crisis in 77 years, as World Bank experts, IMF, the National Monetary Fund, analysts, and other global financial institutions and banking and commercial institutions have analyzed. So the worst since the Second World War, since the Great Depression, the worst, even greater than the Great Recession of 2007, 2010, of which yours truly working on the front line suffered thereof. I'm broke financially, I admit it. I have food, my rent is paid for January, so I'm grateful. I'm going to extend my gratefulness month into this January. I'm grateful, for example, that with this electricity is clean, renewable, zero emission, zero polluting, Mother Nature friendly, renewable energy that I'm using with my phone, with this laptop to record, make this video on this March. And all these lights here are thanks to tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions who worked since 1963 to build 61 dams, hydroelectric dams across this province of Montreal. Province, Hawk Island, Montreal City, big metropolis island surrounded by a big river. And of course the province of Quebec, La Belle Province. All these lights are energy, electricity is renewable, zero emission and clean. All the lights which you're going to see in this video are from Hydro Quebec, all ALL, 100% renewable, clean energy, does not pollute. Even this laptop, the video does not pollute, it's friendly, renewable, and does not emit any CO2. All of these lights. So yours truly now on the march, gonna be marching west with this meditation of tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions who worked at one point in time since 1963 for Hydro Quebec. I should go to Hydro Quebec, give them a hug, give them a good kiss. Those who will, with consent. Hey, so I'm gonna extend. It was December, was my gratitude, thankfulness, meditation month. I said with all that I have, I'm gonna be grateful again. I'm grateful I can go on this march, train my body. I was a bit moody, a bit upset, maybe because I cannot afford a massage therapist. I could use it right now. A shrink, I don't need a shrink. I got tiny feet, tiny hands, and a tiny androgynous little scar-clit dick. Now that we got out of the way, I got a fourth dimension to that tiny trinity of tiny hands, tiny feet, tiny clit dick, tiny trinity dragon, rainbow, fourth dimension, big mouth. Shrink don't need. A good massage, that's what I could use. A good body therapeutic massage. Somewhat like the sports, multi-millionaire athletes who have been blessed by our civilization, myself included. You see me working out, wearing this, however, this Raiders hat. Don't know how I have come in the possession of it. Might have got it secondhand, might have bought it new, might have acquired it somehow, new secondhand or a gift, don't know. But all the Montreal Habs Canadians hat have purchased it. The Miami Heat bought it, I believe, secondhand, although it looked new, it's kind of newish. And the other gear, the bag for Montreal Habs Canadians fan, and San Francisco 49ers, of course, the hat. Have spent body with money, so everything on the athletes who I've been calling. I wanted this one thing to be done. I put my call a few weeks before December 24th, before the holidays, and besides my good friend from a library, fellow nerd. I'm a half a nerd, I admit it. Didn't get many likes. Unedited, raw, real, revolutionary, a little passion, with some brains and some muscles, some intellect, some brains and some muscles, some intellect, some brains and some muscles. I don't know it all, have many questions. And I'm still calling on all willingly loving and still calling on the multi-millionaire athletes. Support the Dragon Army, support the creation of the Dancing Goddess Army, officially international integrated dance league to be complementary to the Dragon Army. Complementary in that with a purpose, for pleasure and for purpose. The Dancing Goddess League, International Dance Goddess League, to be a complementary league to the four, I'm going to say patriarchal sports leagues. Patriarchal sports leagues, to the four patriarchal sports leagues, because let's be honest, brothers and sisters, there's not even one league, which is the Dancing Goddess Army, the International Integrated Dance League, will be integrated. All ages, all sexual orientations, all levels, although we can have professional dancers. And of course, all sexuality, including myself, who's androgynous and pansexual. So integrated all ages, all sexual orientation, all ages, all genders inclusive. Well, we'll be counterbalancing the patriarchal sports leagues. I'm wearing this in solidarity with Kal Nassib. Of course, Kal Nassib is not the only LGBTQ player of the NFL, of course. There are many others. Come out, come out, come out. Thought maybe Antonio Brown was coming out with his action, and I've said, well, besides being the official color red, the Dragon Army does not have an official wardrobe. You can wear red, and the Dancing Goddess green, but there's no official dress code. You can dress pretty much as how you want. But all ALL orders given by Dragon Zero, yours truly becoming with these steps on just steel toe boots, now have turned north. I'm heading north, must be obeyed. No order will be given but to secure food, housing and transport, the three essential elements of civilization. Those three essential elements of civilization are food, housing and transport, just like in my scenario. Now we're going to go back in time a little bit, discuss a little bit of my scenario. So back in 2019, yours truly had analyzed the situation, what had transpired geopolitically, on a global scale, mainly the US-China trade war, began by the Trump administration. The subsequent arrest, detainment on a extradition treaty to honor with the United States. Let it be known that I was twice in past lives born in the USA. Matter of fact, 156 years ago, 718 miles that way, just south in the back of me, I've served in the US Army. So calling my brothers and sisters from the United States as well. From the United States as well. marching north for a new world order of world peace, international justice, and securing and ensuring global freedom by securing and ensuring the three essential elements of civilization for all: citizens, allies, supporters, and subjects thereof. Those three essential elements of civilization are food, housing, and transport. Food, housing, and transport. Food, housing, and transport. Those are the essential elements of civilization. After we have secured those three, we can encourage people to work out, to train, to volunteer, to do community work, and to offer services, whatever can be used, and to integrate across society, east, west, north, south, to see, based on my citizen integration theory, to fight the alienation that has been increasing since 1904 and 1925 and 61, 63, 77, 84, 96, 2007, 2010, and due to specialization, which is great, but my solution, citizen integration theory, is the timely for the 21st century, based on a universal revolutionary centrism of the Phoenix People's Party, the anti-war, anti-poverty, anti-racism, pro-love. Love is action, not just blah blah blah. For all my willingly loving allies and armies, thou art my family. I have founded the Universal Bank, the Dancing Goddess in the Dragon Kingdom, with a credit of 156 trillions, T-R-I-L-L-O-N-S, trillions of kisses, which were credited to yours truly, Adrian Hanna Dragon, with the condition to freely distribute to all my willingly loving allies and armies, to distribute those kisses freely to my willingly loving allies and armies who will join me out of their own will, willingly loving. And one kiss was sent from the goddess of infinite space, infinite stars above, starlit heaven, and that one kiss sent to her sister, the sister who dances with her brother the sun, and the sun now rises and the sun now sets, making, producing, and creating fruits, vegetables, and legumes that our brothers and sisters, farmers, harvest for us to make, maintain, or upgrade civilization. And that is the motto of the Dancing Goddess Army. All ALL fruits, vegetables, and legumes are made, created, and produced by the dance of the goddess with her brother sun. All fruits, vegetables, and legumes are made, created, and produced by the dance of the goddess with her brother sun. Even the beans, I made a chili a few days ago, good chili, very spicy chili, gotta say, with white beans, black beans, and lentils that I just ate. So those black beans, those white beans, those lentils fueled and gave me the energy to go on this march, which will bring me some joy and for a purpose and pleasure. Purpose, of course, for my own pleasure, and purpose, of course, because working out, training, exercising has been, is, and will be medicine and therapy for yours truly, as I believe it is so for many. That's why I have been and am advocating for the mass financing thereof. My brothers and sisters, to work out, train, exercise. I'm calling the patriarchal sports leagues, the NFL, National Football League, the NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB, to mass finance, especially the youth, and to mass finance the Dancing Goddess Army. which is complementary to the Dragon Army. Now, let's be honest, there's not even one women's sports league who makes even close financially to what the aforementioned four patriarchal sports leagues makes. Not even close. There are individual, very few individual women athletes who make in the millions, but as a sports leagues who averages, NBA is the best in average of multi-million-dollar annual salaries, hockey as well afterwards, baseball, and I believe football is after. My brothers in the NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB, private-public partnership with the Dragon Army of security and service. They encourage people to work out, train, exercise, volunteer, do community work. Do community work, volunteer, exercise, and do what needs to be done. So marching for world peace now, heading north. Usually, now it's a bit late. Stop throwing dirt, filth, and poison in my eye, brother. I know you got a piece. You want a piece of this ass? Just ass. Got more out than Kim K. Sevenfold. Go and go north. We do a little bit of rapping. Whew, I felt that. That was exhausting. Food prices are increasing. Trouble over the horizons. Myself, I'm open for business, of course. I can do a lot of things. Clean, cook, write, massage, wash, read, write poetry, recite. I'm writing children's books at the moment. I am writing children's books. I am writing children's books at the moment. I love volunteering, reading to children. It's one of my favorite volunteering and hobbies. I believe we should educate them in hygiene, consent, and understanding, and with civilization and nature. The need for harmony between civilization and nature. Those are the main themes of my writings. Wow, those lights are awesome. See those lights there? Beautiful lights. All these lights come from clean, renewable, zero emission energy. All the lights, public and private. Of course, that was private home, and this is above here. These lights are public lights. So all the public lights and the private lights, they are all from Hydro-Quebec, who since 1963, it's actually earlier than 1963, but I'm referring to 1963 in its current format, have built tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions who have worked during these decades. I've labored with brain and muscle, brain and muscle, brain and muscle to build more than 61 dams across this province of Quebec. See? All the lights. All the lights. Except for the cars, of course. See your cars, the cars are not included, it's the battery, but if it's electric, then yes. If it's electric, then yes. If it's electric, then yes. So marching north now, going to envision a scenario, the Dragon Army, which I'm calling the creation thereof. Just like in my scenario, by mobilizing 1% of citizens of NATO, I am calling on the state of Israel, country of Israel, the state of Israel, to become the 31st member of NATO member country. Just like in my scenario, mobilize 1%. Those who are able to do my workout, the General War Integrated Total Body Training System. Yesterday I began a 40-day journey, 40-day rite. This is a special march for the Phoenix People's Party on the steel toe boots, which is of course the global, international, worldwide, universal revolutionary centrist party based on democratic fusion and the urgent need for public and private partnerships. To secure food, housing and transport for all citizens, allies, supporters and subjects thereof. It's a curfew night. I will not be out that long, a few hours. Just on this march. It's getting beautiful lights. How beautiful. It's getting milder. It's colder yesterday. Went on minus 19. Felt like probably minus 25. Felt like minus 25. All of these lights. It's Hydro-Quebec. Clean, renewable, zero emission. Renewable energy. Yours truly now imagining, of course, and calling at the same time, imagining scenarios with Omicron. It's we've broken, I think, 7 days in a row now, records. Although the past 3 days, there was a diminishing, although it says that the cases could be even worse. What they were, but nonetheless, it could be that it is less. I mean, more than what is reported. We broke records last week, and so the curfew was reimposed for the next weeks, and opening of schools delayed by 2 weeks. Other emergency declaration in Montreal, Hawk Island, Montreal. Now, I believe, first and foremost, I'm going to state my trinity on COVID, because this is an important part of the whole dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, which is one empire under the sun and stars on earth, for world peace, international justice, securing and ensuring global freedom, and attaining harmony between civilization and nature. I'm going to go back in time a bit. We're going to go back in time to 2019, October. Yours truly, Agent H, Dragon coming, Agent Hana, Dragon. October 2019, on a fitness journey. I lost about 65 pounds up to that moment in time. 77 pounds down now, almost 80 now. I believe 80. Last time I checked, 77. In October 2019, I've experimented already with many workouts, different workouts techniques in my underground room, office and temple. I lost pounds, and as an independent student, scholar of history, wars, geopolitics, civilizations, and a world peace advocate and independent global security analyst and theorist, had analyzed the situation globally and had come to the conclusion that we, humanity, are on a path to World War III due to the US-China trade war, which of course Donald Trump's administration began in 2018, with a tit for tat. So that was the major event in my developing the World War III scenario, because of course China retaliated, and thus the US-China trade war triggered the Sino-Canadian, Sino-American, Sino-North American, and Sino-Western deterioration of relations, crises, Sino-Western crises, which has escalated in the past days, weeks, and months to even a further boiling point, not to mention other geopolitical events. So I was saying, as an analyst, I said, humanity, we are on a path towards moving towards TOWARDS, World War III, WW3, World War III. And so, alarmed by the situation, in October 2019, had created, made and designed what is the de facto training system of the Dragon Army. It is officially titled the General War Integrated Total Body Training System. Those 7 words: General War Integrated Total Body Training System, aka the Dragon Army workout, aka the 300 workout. Officially the General War Integrated Total Body Training System, Dragon Army workout, the 300 workout. Also known is the required passing examination for all willingly loving to become a member of the Dragon Army, whose official title of the Dragon Army is International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, aka the Dragon Army. Long official title, simply known as the Dragon Army. Is yours truly born dragon. The motto of the Dragon Army is, nobody is born a dragon, you become one. Not even myself, with a surname Dragon, DRAGAN, born to blood, sweat, tears, tens of thousands of push-ups, of squats, of hocks, millions of marching steps in steel toe boots. Part of it now, turning that A into an O as I'm marching now. East, east, east. I'm heading into the direction of east now. Was heading north, now east. Head up first west, then north. Now I'm heading east. Heading east, east, east. That way, the direction I'm heading now is east. So the Dragon Army, officially International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, aka the Dragon Army. The Dragon Army, short, International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force. Long, Dragon Army, the National Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, aka the Dragon Army, short, to be a new institution for security and service. For security and for service. For security and for service. Just like envisioned in my scenario. Now my scenario, I'll give you an example of security and service. Security, ensuring freedom, ensuring freedom, ensuring freedom by securing the 3 essential elements of civilization. Those 3 essential elements of civilization are: 1, food; 2, housing; 3, transport. Transport simply effective for all citizens, subjects, allies, dragons thereof to be able to go XYZ miles of transport within the city, rural, urban, in the public transit. And these houses, for example, whatever services can be offered from those what they can to those to their need. For example, a mother needs some help with the cooking, with the cleaning. The child is driving her crazy, it's too hyperactive. The Dragon Army 24/7. East, west, north, south, east, west, north, south, east, west, north, south. On the ground. Roaming, going east, west, north, south. Take the child or the children, help out. The children need to run a bit, an hour. They're too hyperactive. They need to do some push-ups. Encourage them to work out. Take them, bring them back. Take them and bring them back. Take the children and bring them back. Oh, it's nice color. Nice color, nice color. Take them, bring them back. Take them, bring them back. It's one example. Or the children need to be read to. That's a pleasure for me. Working out, training, exercise, it has been medicine and therapy for me. Cooking, carrying groceries, cleaning. Needs some help, needs a massage. I don't mind massaging, cooking, cleaning, washing, bathing, and all doing, all seeing, all hearing Dragon Army. East, west, north, south, up and down, east, west, north, south, up and down, east, west, north, south, connected with all social media, telecommunications, with all existing public and private security forces and armed forces, just like envisioned in my scenario, which predates COVID by about 93 days. And resembles COVID in an eerie, paradoxical, providential, parallel way. And it had the solution. Now back to the scenario, where it needs to be more defined, generally at least, without the details, in order to be understood. My communication to be clearly understood. The wisdom, the discernment, and the understanding in it. And love is action. I'm marching on these steel-toe boots. So back in October 2019, October 17, to be precise, exact, accurate, was my first performance. And the first time that I've performed and done the General War Integrated Total Body Training System, aka the Dragon Army workout, aka the 300 workout, officially General War Integrated Total Body Training System. Efficient, effective, simple exercise, requires no equipment. It is perfect for COVID times and can be done anywhere, anytime, at any moment. I do not recommend it in a tornado or a hurricane and lightning and thunder, as much as I like a sunny sunset, sunrise, midday sun, bright day, midnight sun. Do not mind a storm. And the sister who dances with her brother's son, now making food, vegetables, legumes, and fruits. But the dance also has stormy sides. I've been through a storm of suffering, depression, pain, loneliness, and precarious employment, a struggling independent artist, athlete, and activist, AAA adding a fourth dimension, universal spiritual teaching student. I'm not perfect, far from it. I lust. I got vices, I got issues, I get moody, I get upset, I got disillusioned with institutions, organizations, proposals, blah, 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 blah. And as much as I'm a philosopher, a deep thinker, on philosophic ethical questions and morality and institutions and trends and philosophy and art, my brothers and sisters, it got to be balanced by action. By the doing of a will who comes from a love is action. If I say to my allies and armies willingly loving that I love you, I'm not speaking in any name but myself, Adrian Hana Dragon, Adrian H. Dragonborn. Keep my holy, sacred, and divine name out of your mouth. If it's not for a blessing, paid my debts, paid my dues, shed a many a tears. I cry, I'm androgynous, not perfect. I got lusts, vices, I get moody, upset. I survived the many. I died during COVID. The difficult psycho-sexual and spiritual and physical transformations to attain this freedom with this high technology that we have all around them in the mass techno-industrialization and new technologies since the internet. Mass transformation, but not without pain. Just like sexual liberation, let's not kid ourselves. It has not been for myself. Celebrated 7 years the past Halloween since I've come out as being pansexual, androgynous pansexual. 7 years this past Halloween. Dealt with shame and guilt and resentment and negative emotions and feelings. We gotta admit them. It's hard sometimes to admit certain things. Look, I'm wearing the Raiders hat. Just 3 months and a half ago, 4 months now, June Kal Nassib is the only player who have played in the NFL while openly gay, Have been others who have not played, but he's the only one in the history. That's more than, it's a 50-year history, right? Think about that. I'm more than 50. Super Bowl is going to be 55 now. What? 55? 54? Calling to be a performer at the Super Bowl. 54, 55. There hasn't been even one member of my fellow Rainbow Nation across nations, LGBTQ players. Not even one. This took 2021 for Kal Nassib to be the bravest, fierce motherfucker on the motherfucking field. Right? That's not easy. This is where the gym was. Gymnasium, Dragon Gymnasium here. Looks like it got cleaned up a bit. Maybe for the best. The rocks are still there. Hopefully by spring we're going to check it out. Gotta keep on marching. And think about that. Raiders. How hard, tough that battle was for this liberation, for this, my brother and LGBTQ rainbow brother, part of the LGBTQ family, to be courageous enough with so much economics, financial and commercial at stake, right? Because we feel we gotta lose our egos, we got big egos, right? Egos. Right? Perhaps I'm toxic also sometimes to certain people. I've heard people in speech and made gestures, or maybe this. They don't like it. That's why I don't like likes. Stick my tongue out too much. Well, freedom is a double-edged sword, and I admit with my tiny hands, too heavy to lift by my solo, S-O-L-O. You gonna lift it? It's a double-edged sword, man. It's sharp edges, one side and the other. I got tiny hands. It's too heavy, the sword of freedom for me to lift, right? Right? Shame to admit, I lust, L-U-S-T. It's my favorite rapper. I made love, L-O-V. Leaders of the free world, y'all ain't got nothing on Dragon, man. Y'all keep on reading from a piece of paper. Read from a piece of paper, a sentence, and then bow again your heads, and read another sentence, and bow your head again, read a second sentence, and a third time, and you got your paragraph. Say a few in between, and you're the leaders of the free world, man. Drop down and give Dragon 013 push-ups with love and for the sake of world peace. Double vaccinated. Out of hand hygiene. Open carrying the disinfectant. Marching on the steel toe boots. See? Marching on the steel toe boots now. East. Not easy, this FREDOM, freedom. Defining it, understanding it. And first and foremost, ensuring it. Ensuring it, ensuring it. And then the differences in the culture, the language, all of ourselves, our physicality, our psychological dimension, our experiences, good, bad, some in the middle of the rainbow genre, right? Which have come to bring us to this moment in time. Adrian Hanna Dragon, ranting Rainbow Dragon, marching east, these steel toe boots for world peace, international justice, and securing and ensuring global freedom and attaining harmony between civilization and with nature. On the steel toe boots, on the march. Not easy freedom. Gotta be insured, gotta be secured. Heavy sword, SWRD. Tiny hands, I admit two tiny hands to lift it by my solo. I believe my sister can lift it solo, man. My sister can lift it by herself. I believe my sister can lift it by herself. I envision my sword, SWRD. One side, the two edges are sharp. One edge, one side black. One edge, the other side white. So one black side, one white side. The handle, rainbow. The handle to be rainbow. With a hawk. Right at the handle, it has the handle and where the blade begins. To be a hawk, H-A-W-K. Yes, like the bird of prey, my favorite bird. H-A-W-K, and with a spread wings. A woman on a lion with a serpent, snake. Green snake. A golden lion. And a multicolored woman, priestess, goddess, with the moon and the sun. That's how I envision. Anybody made it this far into this unedited, raw, real, revolutionary video, do make a good offer or make the sword donate and credit you 1,000,000 kisses. Kisses got 156 trillion of kisses. 156 trillions of kisses. So I see people in the waving at me. I wave back. Fellow citizens. I'm wondering, do they have food security? They need some assistance. I mean, they need a meal. They need a good wash, good massage. A Dragon Army to be of security and service. Of security and of service. Now I get dirty also. I can do better with my cleaning, but I don't stay filthy. Don't stay filthy, don't stay dirty, because it gets germs, microbes, bacteria. So get back clean, royal, regal, lofty. Like to take baths. I'm open carrying my disinfectant. In private, I could have stayed home, watch news, social media, and some rapping on Instagram. My hobby as an underground rapper. I do not watch porn during the regular days. I only watch pornography from Friday at midnight till Sunday 3 p.m. It's been the fourth weekend in a row, fourth Sabbath in a row. This is the first of 2022 and have kept to that sort of discipline, sort of rules, if you will. Has worked until now. I do smoke a little bit of cannabis, a little bit of weed, legal cannabis, legal weed from time to time, occasionally. Occasionally, from time to time. I haven't smoked in 7 weeks. I got it rolled up. I don't know how good it is anymore, but probably a bit dry. I want to experience new things. I'm no longer suicidal. I was a battle, depression, suicide. I've been through it. Hard battles, man. It comes from a desire to understand our nature, and my rent is paid. I'm open for business. I've applied for multiple businesses, and first and foremost, the business of the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom. My rent's paid a little bit of my cell phone, a third of it. Got food for at least a few weeks. If I don't work out too much, could stretch it until mid-February. With the marches, long marches like this one, and the working out, probably gonna have to be a few days a week. It's not gonna be too long if I work out, train, exercise. Which I do want to continue at a pace. Started a new 40-day ride, working out, training, exercising yesterday. It's second day, which is January 3rd yesterday. Today's January 4th until about February 12, 13. For world peace, declared Omicron, since that's triggered lockdowns again, and it has also triggered not just lockdowns, curfew here in the province of Quebec on 9 million people in Quebec. Montreal, we're 2.5 million on the island, and about metropolitan area is about 4.5 million now, including the South Shore and the North Shore. North Shore is that way. That's south. That's south. That's north. That's north. That's west. That's south. That's east. I'm heading east now. Heading east. So I started off west. I went west, then I turned north, now east, then I'm gonna go south, and then west again. So I'm doing clockwise. I'm going clockwise now. Maybe Thursday, I'm gonna do counterclockwise. Tomorrow I'm cleaning my room again. First big cleaning of 2022. Still in the process of purifying, cleaning, reordering my room, office, and temple also. Working out, training, exercising has been, is, and will be medicine and therapy for yours truly. Envisioning scenarios, and right now I'm envisioning, of course, being Dragon Zero servant to all my willingly loving citizens, allies, subjects, supporters thereof. With a dragon army on the floor, On the march, trucks, put some red in it. Official color, RED, red. Securing food, housing, and transport east, west, north, south of Hawk Island, and calling on first North America, all my brothers and sisters, 1% and beyond, Europe and Latin America, that way. Can't manage myself, love the Spanish language, and was many times born in Latin America, South America, even before the British Empire, French Empire, Spanish Empire, Portuguese Empire, Italian Empire came on these shores. Was in another incarnation. Reincarnation, born here as a native. Lived a simple life. From the memories, flashes that I remember, lived a simple pastoral hunter life. Was too spirited. I still am now. Androgynous. A few decades before the first arrival of, from what we know, the first was Christopher Columbus. From what we know, many past lives, many incarnations. Born in the USA twice. After the American Revolutionary War of 1773 to 1776, and the Declaration of Independence 1776, coinciding with 1776 with the publication of The Wealth of Nations by Adam Smith. Born twice in the USA post 1776, 156 years ago that way, which is south, where the camera is facing now. Not the best camera. I'm working with this laptop. Gonna criticize, offer solutions, alternatives. Give me GoPro or tag along and live stream Dragon Zero marches on Instagram, on Facebook. It's all social media, public and private. In the USA, 156 years ago, 718 miles from Hawk Island, Montreal. 718 miles from Hawk Island, Montreal, 156 years ago, served in the US Army. All of these lights. Thank you, Hydro-Quebec workers. I'm going to say it in French. Merci beaucoup les travailleurs Hydro-Québec qui depuis 1963 a bâti 61 centrales pour qu'on ait l'électricité qui ne pollue pas, des émissions de carbone zéro, il n'y en a pas, que la mère nature est en harmonie. That was a little bit of French. I am also French Quebecer. I am also a Quebecois, Quebecer, North American and multi-ethnic, many past lives, incarnations. On this March now, January 4th, 2022, in this late hour, calling on all willingly loving to join for the securing and ensuring of freedom. It's a double-edged sword, and the Dragon Army envisioning now scenarios. From my understanding, the Canadian Armed Forces, of which from what I do know have a letter of recommendation, was about to go to Kingston, but I only remember more about the past 11 years and a half. Lost a lot of memory of the childhood, of adolescence, of early adulthood. Paradoxically, remember most past lives and incarnations, and maybe the last 11 and a half years or so. Wrote tens of thousands of pages of philosophy, theory, poetry, art, philosophy, education, ideas, creativity. Wrote tens of thousands of pages. Still writing, recording it now with clean, renewable, zero emission energy. Marching. The neighborhood I've arrived in, a more middle upper neighborhood of Hampstead. You're gonna see, well, now because it's dark, right, during the day, my marches can be clearly more the socio-economic, financial, commercial delineation of the neighborhoods, even in Hawk Island, Montreal, along economic, financial commercial lines. On my last march before New Year's, went in a matter of few minutes from lower class, not necessarily in karma or merit, of course, but economically, financially, commercially, to a middle upper, and then to an upper, and then to an upper, the top. Speaking when I went on the boulevard and turned on the street known as Victoria, and then from Victoria on the street known as Sunnyside. And I marched, and then it was, that's what it was. Yours truly on the march. Very quiet. Getting milder, paradoxically, after sunset. I think it's about -3 now. I'm pretty warm. I'm on the marching steps, of course. Marching steps, steel toe boots, still heading east, calling all willingly loving to join the Dragon Army, officially international citizen integrated social security and service force. I'm calling the creation thereof, just like envisioned in my scenario. My scenario now. We're gonna go back in time. 2019, October 17, have performed yours truly the first session of the General War Integrated Total Body Training System, aka the Dragon Workout, aka the 300 workout, designed, made and created to go hand in hand, just like two sides to a coin, with a World War III scenario, which in an eerie providential paradoxical parallel way resembles the COVID-19 health and financial crises. And since it resembles it, and it's predating it, my scenario had the solution. And it is the solution which yours truly is advocating, calling for, and advocating for. So my scenario was, and I have performed 213 sessions in my underground room house and temple of it so far. Yesterday I began a 40-day special journey. I'm going to count it, since I'm doing 3-hour workouts and 300 squat hocks, even more than 300 squat hocks with the barrels of water. I'm going to count it as a double General War Integrated Total Body Training System. And since I'm moving constantly during the workout, yesterday was posted. I think it's airing now on YouTube, airing now as I'm marching. It's airing on YouTube. Maybe nobody watches, but still documenting, calling, advocating for the establishment of the Dragon Army, International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force. 7 words: Dragon Army, Security and Service. So back in 2019, created the General War Integrated Total Body Training System to go hand in hand with the World War III scenario, which in an eerie, paradoxical, providential way resembles the COVID-19 health and financial crises. And since it resembles it, that's what I began advocating for. The implementation of this solution, just like envisioned in my scenario. The solution in my scenario was mobilizing 1% of citizens of NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization member nation countries, of which I'm calling Israel to become the 31st member nation ASAP, 31st member of NATO ASAP, Israel to become the 31st member of NATO ASAP. So back in 2019, had created it, designed it, made and produced it. The Dragon Army workout, that is. The General War Integrated Total Body Training System, aka the Dragon Army workout, aka the 300 workout. And it was designed and created and made to go hand in hand with the World War III scenario in an eerie, paradoxical, providential way that resembles the COVID-19 health and financial crises. And since it resembles it, that's what I began advocating for. The creation of the International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, aka the Dragon Army. Just like envisioned in my fictitious scenario, which had the solution. Now I'm going to say my trinity on COVID, because this is important. My trinity on COVID has been, is and will be this. First and foremost, do not know for sure what caused the COVID-19 health and financial crisis known as the coronavirus. Second, I believe it was transmitted from snakes to human beings, meaning zoonotic transmission, which is the technical term. Given to the transmission from animals to human beings, zoonotic. I believe it's spelled ZOONITIC, if I'm not mistaken. Double check. There's a doubt. So double check. I don't know at all. Now my trinity on COVID is this. This is important. First and foremost, do not know what caused COVID. Second, believe it was transmitted from snakes to human beings. And third, since do not know for sure, cannot rule out another possibility. That is my trinity on COVID. Again, first and foremost, do not know for sure what caused COVID. Second, believe was transmitted from snakes to human beings. Some other people believe it was bats. Some other people believe it was pigs. Some other people even believe some seafood, sea creatures like fish or whatever. So there's different multiple theories. There's no one established. It's not consensus on it, of course. Far from it. So that is my trinity. And since there's a doubt, meaning that if there's a doubt, of course, there's an opening for questioning, for discernment, for different analysis, different perspectives of scenarios, and this cannot be ruled out another possibility, right? That's the Trinity. The Trinity on COVID. Yours truly, Adrian Hanna Dragon's Trinity on COVID. First and foremost, do not know for sure. Second, believe it was snakes to human beings. And third, cannot rule out another possibility. A fourth dimension to that Trinity. Yes, I did say fourth dimension. I am trying to tell to my parallel self to stop sending me 56,000 pages of information, because that's 13.3 books. And although I read tens of thousands of books for a whole weekend, I cannot read that to meet his deadline. Anyways, so my fourth dimension to the trinity of beliefs surrounding COVID, coronavirus, that yours truly has is this. First and foremost, my trinity on COVID again. First, do not know for sure what caused COVID. Second, believe that COVID, the coronavirus, was transmitted from snakes to human beings. And third, since do not know for sure what caused COVID, I cannot rule out another possibility. But do know 100% without a doubt. Smells so good. At least somebody's eating good. Good for you guys. Are you blessed? And you thank the farmers, the truckers who brought it to you so that you can eat, because money you can't eat. That's the problem. I don't want to go no cannibal. I like my veggies, potatoes. Bacon is a bit expensive pricing now. The price is increased at this moment in time for yours truly, and you now want to resort to anything other than legal means of acquisition and merit and talent and work and effort. I'm putting this effort marching in the steel toe boots to turn that A into a no. Nobody's born a dragon. You become one. Not even yours truly with a surname, D-R-A-G-A-N, took blood, sweat, and tears. Now with these marching steps, I'm turning that A into a no. So my trinity on COVID. First and foremost, do not know for sure what caused COVID. Second, believe it was transmitted from snakes to human beings. And third, I cannot rule out another possibility since I have a doubt. Although I believe the transmission from snakes to human beings, there's a doubt. Thus, I cannot rule out another possibility. A fourth dimension to that trinity. Believing it was snakes, not knowing for sure, having a doubt, and thus cannot be able to rule out another possibility. Is the fourth dimension is what do know 100% without a doubt. Before COVID, 93 days before COVID, yours truly, world peace advocate, independent student scholar of history, war, civilization, and independent global security analyst and theorist, I'd analyzed the situation and taken into consideration the deterioration in the Sino-Canadian, Sino-American, Sino-North American, Sino-Western political, financial, economic, geopolitical crises ongoing and getting worse. I said we are on a path to World War III, and so I have created, back in October 29, the scenario, World War III scenario. And since I've had the solution in the scenario, that's what since July 24, 2020, I began advocating for. The implementation of the solution, just like in my World War III scenario, which has details and ramifications, and I don't know for sure. Cannot rule out another possibility, since I believe snakes, but I'm not, there's a doubt. Can it be a bioweapon? It could be. Could it be an experiment gone wrong? It could also be. Could it be an accident in the lab? And Mass Effect. Could be. From outer space, spacecraft, carrying, and it, just like we went, migrated, and we carried introduced all sorts of what's called by the United Nations invasive species, and could be, cannot rule out. For all we know, it could have been a spacecraft and the aliens exploring, right? And not willingly, but because of how their conditions on their planets and their civilizations are maybe far different from ours, how theirs in so much space would be hell of a waste, right? Don't waste food, eat it. Look at these trees. Look. These majestic trees are but a few hairs on the goddess's body. The goddess, yes, I said goddess, G-O-D-D-S-S, that dances with a bird of sun. How much do we know about Mother Nature? Mother Nature is the greatest artist and the greatest scientist, right? Look at these trees. It's 3 times my size. Just a speck of fucking dust, man. Not fucking ego. Look at this. This is just a few hairs on the goddess's body, who dances with a bird of sun, who gets that one kiss from her sister above. A heaven starlit, star count. And that one kiss turned into 156 trillions of kisses, which are gifted, credited with the condition for me to distribute to all my willingly loving allies and armies. So, on the march, to all my willingly loving allies and armies, vaccinated, I could kiss, make it overtime. Overtime kissing, man. Extra work. Putting in kissing overtime. Got 156 trillions. Ain't got no money in the bank. I'm in the minus 430. In the minus. Got protection. Pay $4 to get the 500 overdraft protection. I'm about 10,000 minus 61 cents or so. Let's round it up by that. 61 cents. $10,000 in debt that I owe as a debt, DBT to the Royal Bank of Canada, RBC. Part of my debt refusion theory to be implemented to create the 2 complementary institutions, the International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, aka the Dragon Army, with the Dancing Goddess Army, officially International Integrated Dance League. Be complementary, refuse all debt, or created 2 complementary institutions, right? That's the solution. Just like in my scenario. So back in October 2019, I created, made, and designed the scenario, the World War III scenario, and the General War Integrated Total Body Training System, which is the de facto examination for anybody willingly loving to join the Dragon Army, whose motto is "Nobody is born a dragon, you become one." The de facto examination is the General War Integrated Total Body Training System, aka the Dragon Army workout, aka the 300 workout. That is the scenario, and the scenario goes with it, like two sides to a coin. You cannot have one without the other. Just like the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom are one, under the sun, under the stars, under the moon, on earth. You cannot have the dancing goddess army without the dragon army. Has to be clear. A complementary covenant cooperative institution is to be created, like two sides to a coin, for pleasure and for purpose. Pleasure, body is a temple for pleasure and for purpose. If I could cook, massage, kiss, march, work out, train, and write and create all day, well, that's what I'm doing anyways. That's what I'm doing. I'm writing, marching, creating all days. Creating. General War Integrated Total Body Training System. Yeah, I lust. I'm not perfect. I am pansexual. Yeah, I was working out watching NFL yesterday. I was in Coliseum. Good victory for the Raiders. Wow. Go Raiders, go 49ers, go Buccaneers. Asking the NFL quarterbacks to give me a neck rub for halftime Super Bowl show. For the halftime Super Bowl show. See the bus drivers. Dragon Army to see, do they need a neck rub and a break? They could drive better. Do they need a service? They call for a service. Of course, with a simple, effective, efficient accountability. So there's no abuse, no, abusing their goodness and kindness, right? Has to be some rules or regulations. There's no abuse, and people who can offer. To those who can offer. What can I offer? Well, I can cook, I can massage, I can clean, I can read, can write, can do ALL. Almost all. In some things I am fucking useless. Yeah, I admit it. Let's say it. Say it with me. In some situations, some things, we are fucking useless. In some situations, in some circumstances, we are fucking useless. We don't know it all. So I got together. Citizen integration theory. What I can do, offer some brains and muscle. Some brains and muscle. Some brains and some muscle. A little bit of folly maybe also. In between. Right? Citizen integration theory. Coupled with democratic fusion theory. And coupled with debt refusion theory. Those three theories go together. A trinity. Holy, sacred, divine trinity. Just like food, housing, and transport. Securing it. Food, housing, and transport. Need to get my pebbles out. Some more pebbles. Steel toe boots. I think they're not pebbles. I think they're actually from the sand. They're not really pebbles. They're the grains put on the sidewalks for the ice. See? Ah, yeah. That's a steel toe boot sound. Before yours truly takes any order from any leader of the free world, that'll be understood clearly, concisely, direct, and straightforward that Dragon Zero will not take any orders from any leader of the free world. I'm double vaccinated, like hygiene in public. When I step out, I'm no longer just private citizen. I'm also public citizen. When I step out now, I'm also a public citizen. As with flaws, with vices, with lusts, with folly, with some brain and some muscle coupled with that creativity. And see? And marching on these steel toe boots. Dragon Zero will not take any orders from any leader of the free world until they come march. Filmed, live streamed, directed. Leaders of the free world meet me in Hawk Island, Montreal. Drop down. Give Dragon Zero 13 push-ups. With love and for the world of sake of world peace. See? I wanted to see if it's open. It's actually closed. See, there's one there. Wash your hands there. And there's gonna be one there. Wanted to see if it's closed or open. The cinema. Passing through my old neighborhood, just passing by my old neighborhood. See, it's available right there. It's available right there. See? Sanitation. Go 1, 2, 3. Keep it. Keep it in my hand. Okay. Mix it with my own a bit. Got my own, see? One drop is enough. See? My brothers and sisters, make sure you wash your hands when you go in a public building which is not your domain, your private domain. You go in a public building, such as this, which I've traversed in my own neighborhood because wanted to visit, see if it's open, the cinema, affordable, this stuff, economic, financial, commercial times for yours truly. $2.50 for a movie, so wanted to see the schedule, wanted to see, maybe come see a movie this week. So it's got about $3.50, so I'm good to go. Okay. Disinfected, hand sanitized. I touched the door. Didn't touch much, but nonetheless. Touch a bit. And we're gonna march on. Nice cut. A nice color. I like red. Red is my favorite color. Brain's a muscle, passion have. It's important to wash the hands, to disinfect. Because I've seen a lot of people on when I go out. I could do better myself, I admit it. A dragon army, give orders, you follow, but I also gotta follow them. I'm not a dictator. I'm not a dictator. I got issues. I got lusts. I got cravings. I get moody. I get upset. I'm not reading from a piece of paper though. Such our leaders of the free world do. They come before you, press conference, news conference. They have 4 sentences. They gotta read 7 words or 6. Look down, read another 6. Look down, read another 6. They got paragraph. They were able to read it. Not all, of course. I'm generalizing. I'm not perfect. I laugh at myself sometimes. I want to laugh and love and experience love, especially love. L-O-V. Dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom. You hug, kiss, dance, make love in the streets, in the public domain, the better. Hygiene, hygiene, hygiene. And consent, consent, consent. That's what's required. Get vaccinated, get tested, I'm double vaccinated. Willing to get the third jab. Got both jabs at the same spot. The forehead of the goddess. This is forehead of the goddess, G-O-D-D-S-S. Yeah, I say God, and I say goddess. There is a divinity. I'm a universal spiritual teaching student. I don't know it every day. Most important thing is that Adrian Hannah Dragon. Of course, before I say this, there are some issues and some teachings and some practices that I do agree with. But most important thing is that Adrian Hannah Dragon becoming Dragon Zero, captain, founder of the Dragon Army on this march. Dragon Army Special March, and bust the dance move on the steel toe boot shoes for the Dancing Goddess Army. Adrian Hannah Dragon I do not owe past prophets nothing. Sure, some teachings we agree are inspired, and I don't owe them nothing. I believe in divinity, I believe in spirituality. I'm a spiritual teaching student. I'm learning every day. One of my spiritual philosophies, which includes psychosexual dimension, is simple. The body is a temple for pleasure and for purpose. The body, B-O-D-Y. What I have been doing during COVID, I had 3 essential employments. What have I been doing? Been working, training, exercising. I've been investing in the body. Encourage all. Dragon Army Security and Service, encouraging people to take a bath, shower, give some love, give a neck rub, some massage. LGBTQ or not, I'm not anti. Phoenix People's Party is anti-poverty, anti-racism, anti-war, but it's also pro-love. Because we gotta be anti, we can be anti and read, like my theories, I've written tens of thousands of pages. Well, can only go halfway complimentary, right? The paradox of this COVID, my meditations on this COVID, how I think to appreciate some things which we perhaps took for granted. The meditations that I've done, complimentary everything that I've written, the sufferings, the struggles that I've endured, XYZ, and the tears shit, the laughter, this human civilization, this purpose towards our humanity. Like I said, it was a bit rough. Trigger warning that my brothers and sisters, I think if we're a bit honest, I think sometimes we deserve some punishment, you know? Some vengeance. Some vengeance, some revenge, I guess. I do not turn the other cheek. Not something that I practice personally. I want to say forgive me to all that I've said, done things. Forgive, don't forget, forgive, don't forget, forgive, don't forget. Calling for a reset now, marching. Marching. So I'm marching that way is. I'm marching south now. South, south, south. The past neighborhood. Beautiful lions. I don't know if you can see. Wow. So beautiful. It's too dark. They're lions. So nice on both sides. Very beautiful made. Can't see because there's no light, but golden like lions holding like sun. My old neighborhood, I recognize the building. I don't know if who still operates it, but on the gates there was a beautiful lion. On the corner of Van Horn and just cross Van Horn, just passing by my old neighborhood. There's nothing that I want to go back to. I just want to go forward. Today, live in the present. Carpe diem, carpe diem, carpe diem. Calling for the establishment of the International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, aka the Dragon Army, complementary in a covenant cooperative way, International and Integrated Dance League, Welfare New World Order of World Peace, International Justice, and Secured and Insured Global Freedom. I'm passing now Durnford, D-U-R-N-F-O-R-D, Dunford and Coolbrook and Dunford. So I'm at the corner there, you see. Got another trillions of kisses. Credited. Coolbrook, C-O-O-L-B-R-O-K, and Durnford, D-U-R-N-F-O-R-D. Dunford, and that's the carry there. The carry. I didn't want to take the main the carry like usually. Last time took the carry and it'd be too much exhaust. It is rush hour and the fumes are gonna be. I didn't want to inhale the fumes. Inhale all those fumes. Inhale the fumes and taking it to my own neighborhood, just passing by. Just passing by, just passing by. I died during COVID. As a matter of fact, although I'm double vaccinated, willing to get the third jab, try to do my best of public hygiene. Public hygiene is important. Wash the hands with soap, disinfectant. And if I do want to live for something, my rent is paid, so I'm glad we got food. It's for that four-letter holy, sacred, and divine word. L-O-V-E. L-O-V-E. Love, you know. I mean, if there's not about love, what the hell are we fighting for? What the hell is worth living for? It's not for that four-letter word, right? L-O-V-E, man. Start loving, start kissing, start hugging, start dancing. That's what I want to say in 40 days. 39 now. Mid-February. Dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom. I die. Continue. Want the sister to take over, continue the mission. Bourret, B-O-U-R-R-E-T, B-O-U-R-R-E-T, and Coolbrook now. Coolbrook, marching south. Not perfect. I died during COVID. Adrian H. Dragon died during COVID. Being reborn. Adrian Hannah Dragon. Androgynous pansexual founder of the dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom. One. Under the sun. Under the stars, under the moon on earth. Under the stars. Under the moon on earth, marching forward. Marching forward. Blood, sweat, and tears, turning that A into a no. Push-ups, hog squats, even these marching steps on these steel-toe boots. Adrian H. Dragon born. Nobody's born a dragon, you become one. Not even myself with a surname, D-R-A-G-A-N, born to... Nobody's born a dragon, not even myself. Blood, sweat, and tears, pain, suffering, struggle, and doing that general war integrated total body training system, of which I've performed 213 sessions so far in my underground room, office, and temple. Underground room, office, and temple. Added the fourth dimension to that trinity, made it into a gymnasium, where I've lost more than 77 pounds now. Working out, training, exercising has been, is, and will be medicine and therapy for yours truly, as I believe it is so for many. I've been calling on the mass financing thereof, my brothers and sisters, to work out, train, exercise, and the mass financing thereof, which via the Dragon Army we will be able to do, which I'm calling the creation of, just like in my scenario. So back to my scenario. October 2019, October 17, 2019 was the first time that yours truly had performed the first session of the General War Integrated Total Body Training System, and have documented proof. It is on YouTube. It is on YouTube. Seeing my citizens, police, 4 cars. Maybe they're exhausted. Maybe they need somebody to say I love you, man. Maybe they go save somebody now, today, or yesterday they saved somebody who's a cop hater. Ain't no A-cab down with Dragon. I know gangster, you gangster acting gangster. You're fucking homosexual, man. You just don't want to admit it. You say homophobic shit, or you fantasize getting your... Stop playing. I'll turn the other cheek. I wouldn't like knowing. Knowing would get me depressed. We all got issues. We all got lusts, cravings, want to be loved. I saw 4 cars, police. Fellow citizens. Maybe they need also a massage. Part of the Dragon Army, integrated with all existing public and private security forces. Private and public security forces. All, just like in my scenario. Just like in my scenario. My scenario, of course, predates COVID by 93 days and resembles it 2019. Analyze the world situation. Came to the conclusion that we are on a path to World War III, and so created the General War Integrated Total Body Training System, aka the 300 workout. Made, designed, and created to go hand in hand with the World War III scenario, which had the solution, and that's what I began advocating for. October 17, 2019, documented via Facebook Live, recorded, and of course put on one of the 3. I got 3 YouTube channels: Adrian H. Dragon, my name at birth, One Phoenix, and Raw Isis. I believe it's on Raw Isis or One Phoenix. Also on the Adrian H. Dragon, but originally uploaded on one of the others besides my Adrian H. Dragon one. So I have created the workout with a scenario which in a nearly paradoxical providential parallel way resembles the COVID-19 health and financial crisis. Since it resembles a bit of beauty, that's beautiful. Since it resembles it, that's what I began advocating for. The creation of the Dragon Army. My scenario now. What causes made it just in time? What causes World War III? What causes World War III in my scenario, fictitious scenario, but based on real life events which had transpired up to that moment in time, namely the US-China trade war, the arrest of Meng Wanzhou, consequently the 2 Michaels, and other geopolitical events. What causes World War III in my fictitious scenario? Keep in mind that the timeline of my scenario, my fictitious scenario, is an ongoing timeline with me performing the General War Integrated Total Body Training System, aka the 300 workout, aka the Dragon Army workout. Keep that in mind. They go hand in hand together. There's no distinction or separateness between the scenario and my workout. First session that I performed was October 17, 2019. Had so far completed 213, and yesterday began the 40-day till mid-February or so, the special ones. The special ones. Special ones. The general war integrated total body training system. It's going to count as double. So what causes World War III in my scenario is a stock market crash, which causes a global financial collapse. So my scenario, what causes World War III is a stock market crash, which triggers a global financial collapse. And this global financial collapse triggered by a stock market crash is blamed by many countries around the world on the Trump administration. Basically, China and the allies of China blame the Trump administration for this global financial collapse due to the imposition of tariffs, which in truth destabilize the global financial system and global international commercial system and worldwide economic system, right? I'm using those three different words: financial, commercial, and economic to denote the labor more, and financial the capital more, and the commercial the production more. It's more my theoretical commercial, financial, economic. That's those three words, but they're interconnected, of course. They're all part of the economic, financial, commercial system, and they are interconnected, but just in the dragon economic, financial, commercial theories, they're like a trinity, a triangle, if you will, that have those distinctions. When referring to economics, is the labor market, employment, unemployment; financial to the capital, the different currencies of the world in comparison to other currencies and the fluctuations thereof, and the rate of interest. I am for only 10% interest on all loans. Dancing Goddess and Dragon Kingdom. And the commercial is the buying and the selling, and the goods already present for the citizen consumers to purchase. When I say commercial, and everything else, rents, everything in the economy, rents, cars, everything that we pay monetarily for. That's why I use economic, financial, and commercial. So like a trinity that's integrated, but that of course has its own distinctions when coming to dissect it on a more micro scale. So again, just to clarify why I've used world economic system and international financial system and global commercial system, right? All global, worldwide, international, yes, but in reference to the economic, more on the supply side and the labor market, unemployment, employment, wages, while the financial on the capital, the exchanges of different currencies. US currency is still the major international currency, right? The US dollar. Canada is in the top 10, Canadian dollar. China as yuan has risen, of course, so that's what my reference was made in that genre, because I think that a lot of people use commercial, financial, economic to, and they refer to the same thing, but there's a distinction, and that is the distinction that I make as an independent economic, financial, commercial analyst and theorist between those two. So basically, and they're all interconnected. My advocacy for the debt refusion theory, DRT, debt refusion theory to be put into practice. It's a theory which I've written in the past 7 years in my years of struggle, but in those years of struggle I have still made the libraries of the city of Hawk Island, Montreal my second home, and tens of thousands of books, my friends, and I've written tens of thousands of pages of theory, philosophy, poetry, art, songs, which I'm giving now in a compendium in these coming days, weeks, and months ahead, and have been giving them in the past days, weeks, and months past during COVID. So my scenario, what causes World War III, is a global financial collapse. which is blamed by China and its allies on the US, mostly on the US and its allies, and mostly specifically on the Trump administration. And keep in mind that the event known as the US-China trade war, which is ongoing, began by the Trump administration in March 2018, is the major, was and is, because it's my World War III scenario, continues on the timeline that yours truly is performing, the General War Integrated Full Body Training System. So continuing on that parallel timeline is yours truly's General War Integrated Full Body Training System, created and made and produced, designed to go hand in hand with the World War III scenario, which in a nearly paradoxical providential way resembles the COVID-19 health and financial crises. So that's my scenario briefly. The cause of World War III is a stock market crash causing a global financial collapse, which is blamed by many on the Trump administration and the US-China trade war, which was began by the Trump administration in 2018 March. So back in 2019, October, yours truly created it, made it, and produced it. General War Integrated Total Body Training System, aka the Dragon Army workout, aka the 300 workout, made, created, and designed to go hand in hand with the World War III scenario, which in a nearly paradoxical providential way resembles the COVID-19 health and financial crises. And since July 24th, 2020, in the midst of COVID, seeing that COVID resembles my scenario, because due to COVID, there was a stock market crash, which occurred in 2020. Supposedly we're heading for another one, maybe February, I say it's possible by February 11th. If not February 11th, the stock market crash to begin and become a global financial collapse mid-February, in a few days. It's possible, it's possible, it's possible. With all the debt, all the public spending, private debt, and inflation, hyperinflation, the soaring, and it's possible. It is possible. It's possible. Cannot rule it out. From all the knowledge that I know, and I'm learning every day, in a parallel life, science, innovation, and technology is my chosen path, and this one is spirituality, philosophy, theory, sexuality, art, the irrational, emotional life, and sexual and psychological, theoretical, philosophical, physical. They can go hand in hand. I gotta work together on this. So that is the scenario, which is ongoing since the next 39 days. Just started yesterday, 40 days, until at least February 11th. Until at least February 11th. So due to COVID, in real life, keep in mind my scenario began 93 days before COVID. Stock market crash occurred, triggering economic, financial, and commercial recessions and depressions unseen since in 77 years, since the Second World War, and unseen since in more than 77 years. In 77 years. 77 years. In 77 years. Since the Second World War, the Great Depression. The stock market crash, known as the COVID market crash, coronavirus stock market crash, began February 20th and ended about April 7th, 2020, which marked the beginning of the COVID coronavirus recession, depression, the worst economic, financial crises in more than 77 years since the Second World War due to COVID. So it began February 20th, 2020, and it ended about April 7th of 2020. See, the delivery man, delivery worker, delivering food, hot food, people to eat. Thinking of them now. Food, pizzas, hamburgers. Hamburgers, food. Poutine. Could go for a poutine, but got food at home. No food waste, no buying some poutine, I ain't got money anyways. Poutine is our specialty of Quebec. Another time. So the scenario is in a parallel timeline, ongoing now. Since it began February 20th, 2020, and it's ongoing. Triggering the worst economic, financial, commercial crises since the Second World War. Curfews, lockdowns and curfews, lockdowns. Look at this bill. For example, how many people you know got food security? Imagine when on this March now, what area did I cover? Covered an area. I'm still covering because I'm going clockwise. Of more than maybe 25, I will by the end, square kilometers. Maybe 13.3 or 13.4, about 13.3. Gonna check on the map, Google Maps. I'm gonna connect with my parallel self, where satellites, supercomputers, micro gadgets, and ICBM rockets is my chosen path, and I will know the exact amount of steps going circular in a circle. The exact amount of square kilometers, which I do estimate are 13.3 or 13.4. My estimation on what do know that takes me when I go clockwise for more than 3 hours march, which this march will be it. I got a pebble on my right side. It's making a bit of a massage. Slightly uncomfortable. Depends how I step, but like a big pebble. I'm gonna try to get it out. Ah, no, it's still there. Got a pebble, pebble, pebble in my right steel toe boots. Maybe that pebble is actually tracking device. Well, my parallel self, but a tracking device on myself. Joking aside, I imagine a parallel timeline of my workout scenario, which is ongoing. I am grateful, thankful for the things I got. Gratitude month. Back to the scenario. What triggers World War III is a global financial collapse triggered by a stock market crash. That is the beginning of World War III. In my scenario, which begins in a parallel timeline to me performing the scenario in a not so distant future from October 17, which marks the first time or the first performance of the General War Integrated Total Body Training System. And the fictitious stock market crash, it's called Black Halloween because it occurred on Halloween Day. And a few days later, stock caused this global financial collapse. And again, a few days later, the global economic crash. This is new. I'll get that pebble out. Got the pebble out. Was only my right shoe. Steel toe boots, steel toe boots, steel toe boots. This time. Now we're gonna march south. South, south, south. Gonna march south. Marching south now. So it's gonna be clockwise. So that is what causes World War III in my fictitious scenario. A global financial collapse caused by a stock market crash, which is blamed by China and its allies on the US. De facto, the Trump administration, which in real life began the US-China trade war at the beginning March 2018, which marked the US-China trade war, and it's ongoing. So that was the major event, geopolitical event, which propelled the creation of my World War III scenario in the General War Integrated Total Body Training System, aka the 300 workout, aka the Dragon Army workout. Now I'm not perfect, far from it. Got issues, got vices, but I've lectured before on Sino-Western, Sino-North American, Sino-Canadian issues. I do not intend to give a big lecture now. I'm just gonna say that whatever we say about China, China has become a superpower, and since 2007 superpower and is a civilization which many of us in the West do not fully understand. And to be honest, gives me goosebumps. I've been learning a bit of Chinese Mandarin. It gives me goosebumps. Now listen to Xi Jinping's, the leader of China, German, to dialogue, dictate, and give a speech in July of last year. Try to figure out the quote that I'm referring to if you made it this far into the video. Gave me goosebumps. I ain't taking orders from no leader of the free world, that's for sure. The only orders I'm taking from is a child Leo, and the Scorpio takes orders from a Leo child, and sometimes from my sister, who's been a friend and a teacher. To that fourth trinity of sister, friend, teacher as the fourth dimension, my one and only financial sponsor at the moment in many ways. I'm open for business. Marching south now. Calling on all willingly living to support the creation of the two complementary covenant cooperative institutions, International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, aka Dragon Security and Service Army, Dragon Force, officially International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, since it was supposed, of course, to be International Global at least Western wise, just like envisioned in my scenario. Just like envisioned in my scenario, which had the World War III component in it. The devastation, destruction also had the solution, resolution, and that was mobilizing 1% of citizens of NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization member nations, calling Israel to become the 31st member of NATO. ASAP, Israel, the state of Israel, the country state of Israel, to become the 31st member of NATO. ASAP. Mobilize 1% of citizenry, adult population, who are able to do the general war integrated total body training system, aka the Dragon Army workout, aka the 300 workout. Mass mobilization, local, national, and international, create the new institution, just like envisioned in my scenario, to be not only a security force, securing and ensuring freedom by securing and ensuring the three essential elements of civilization. Those essential elements of civilization are food, housing, and transport. That trinity is secured, food, housing, and transport. We can encourage and support the fourth dimension to that trinity of food, housing, and transport. The fourth dimension will be services, with consent, hygiene, security, consent, hygiene, security, consent, hygiene, and security, and on demand. For example, now the Dragon Army would have been on the march, integrated across all social media platforms, the 1-800 number of service and security. Service and security, service and security. What service can be provided? Children need to get a half an hour of running. Need to do some push-ups, some dancing, and some going out maybe a bit with the car or on the train. Count trains. Do activities. It's open to imagination and on demand. The children of the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom. Their laughter, their joy, the laughter and the joy and the laughter and the loving of the children is the anthem of the dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom. There is music. I'm envisioning the anthem with music of all genre of music. Classic, opera, rock, rap. Just the instrumentals, just the instrumentals, just the instrumentals, but no lyrics. No lyrics. No lyrics. No lyrics. I love it, playing hockey. It's a good activity. I love it. See, maybe they can play some hockey. They need some skates. Do some exercise. They need to exercise. Like to channel. Instead of repress. Don't want no repression of thoughts, energies. They gotta be understood with our nature. And for understanding with love and hygiene and XYZ. To jog, to work out, to train, to do push-ups, to exercise, to do community work, to channel, sublimate, like sexual energies. Repressing will get us diseased, ill. If they're out in the light, at least we can do something about it. Do some push-ups, go for a jog, take a bath, do some loving. A dragon army also serves those who want to be loved and to love. Sure, service can be included. Shit, I can make loving, giving a service extra time. Kisses, massages, washes, foot baths, foot massage, foot kissing, hygiene and consent. Of course, so that there's no abuse. Somebody asks for the third massage during the day, well, we gotta keep account. Okay, well, how are you gonna offer also to the dragons? The dragons on the march secured food, marched perimeters, march for miles, march for kilometers. Are they gonna be? They need a massage. They need a massage. Need some love, man. Right? And the travel to be for learning, for application of the citizen integration theory. To go see, for example, how farming is done. I want to go visit the 61 Central, Hydro-Québec. I want to visit them. You need why all the services, taking the dog out for a walk. It can be all services that a dragon can offer on the march. It can be pleasure of the body, no shame, with consent, no shame. Body's a pleasure. I need a special kind of massage. Well, any dragons? It's hygiene questions, gloves, lotion, and sanitizer. And no shame. Body's a temple for pleasure and purpose. Shh. Could do massages, kissing, and washing all day, man. Well, not all day. I need to eat, work out, and I need some loving too, not just to give, but receive. LOV, love is action. A new world order of world peace, international justice, securing and ensuring global freedom. Right? Beautiful. Dance. Other services. Well, I need some chopping of the... Somebody come for 15, 20, 30 minutes. Help me some chopping of the... I need to do help with the laundry. I need some laundry, man. All services and security force. The Dragon Army. All service and security force. The Dragon Army. Refusing all debt. Private and public. And rocking and rolling. Recite poetry, read, clean. Regeneration, renewal. Local, national, international. For world peace. World peace, man. channel the emotions, anger, frustrations. You need to feel the psychological for war, right? What is NFL? Look how aggressive. And I like the sport. Dancing is my favorite. Dancing is my favorite sport. Whatever services got to be done. Whatever one dragon can do, his past experience or learning. Massage is not hard. You want it harder, softer, you want it back, you want it the arms, left or right, the neck, the buttocks, the hand, the feet. With consent. Washing of the feet, kissing hands, washing head, cooking. Easy to learn. You do once, twice, and that's it. You don't need a big. Hey, look, somebody did an angel, archangel, archangel, archangel. Very nice. So look at this building. I love this building. This is my favorite building in Hawk Island, Montreal. My favorite place is Mount Royal, which is one of the three peaks of the mountain system. Okay. My favorite building. Go to the back of it. Actually, I need to. Mother Nature calls, so I have no choice. It's called the Green Rail in the back alley, the Green Alley, and I cannot hold it anymore. I was holding it for a half hour. Just holding it for a half an hour. I can't anymore. But I don't want to do it so in public. So I think this is the best. Not the ideal, but I didn't pee on the building. I officially think it's not legal unless it's on the side, but I think you'll excuse me, I ain't got money to pay fee anyways. So I'm gonna respect the curfew. I'll go through the alley. But so going on the alley now south, there's a cat calling on all willingly loving. Because now my rent's paid, got food. If I would need to offer, to give and receive something, would be that holy, sacred, divine letter word, LOVE. Could use a good love neck rub, NECKRUB. Good neck rub. Oh, there's a cat. Oh, there are two cats. There are two cats. One black and one with a nice golden fur, and they're looking at each other. They're saying meow. And you want to say meow. Say meow. So what did you eat today? I ate these crunchy little things. The other cat says, what did you eat today? I ate this mushy. So I got an idea for children's books. What does the cat say? What does the cat eat? Children's books. What does the cat eat? The cat eats nice red. I think it said safe, S-A-F-E. Marching south now. Marching south. Marching south. Calling for the establishment of this 40-day rite. The dancing goddess and the dragon armies. Dragon Army, officially international citizen integrated social security and service force, aka the Dragon Army, official color red. Complementary covenant cooperative with the International Citizen, International Integrated Dance League, officially International Integrated Dance League, the Dancing Goddess Army. Complementary covenant cooperative institutions. Just like in my scenario, the International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, aka the Dragon Army, to be created on the institutions. The complementary covenant cooperative way, the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Army, to be of security and service. My scenario had the destruction and the devastation of World War III, which is caused by the global financial collapse, which consequently is caused by the stock market crash, blamed on the Trump administration and on the US by China and many other countries. Blame it thereof. And since that's what I began advocating for. The establishment of the Dragon Army to secure food, housing, and transport. And after securing those three, which are the three essential elements of civilization for all, food, housing, and transport, we can work on the fourth dimension, goods, extra goods, and services, hygiene products, services needed. Dancing, massaging, kissing, reading, cooking, Xing. With consent, hygiene encouraged. I don't mind getting dirty. Get back clean. Royal. Regal. Lofty. See this tower? There's a cell radio tower here. A TV even. Could be a triple radio cell. TV tower. Looks like it definitely has some cellular capabilities. 3G, 4G even 2G. That could be even the older one, 2G. Still based a lot of it on the original science of Mother Nature and this universe, right? Waves that exist. In many ways, it could be true that we create at some point, but we create from us with the externals that are there, right? Or inspired, or right? This is, I believe it's cell phone, radio, and television. Now definitely looks like some TV up and below, some on the four corners, the round ones. Look at that, it says Rock Cult, RAW. Well, I think I'm the only YouTube channel real raw revolutionary in philosophy, LGBTQ issues, dancing goddess in the dragon army. I am a wannabe Telemite, universal spiritual teaching student. That a YouTuber that does not edit videos. No editing. Raw, real, revolutionary. Raw, real, revolutionary. No editing. Raw, real, revolutionary. So my scenario had the solution, and since I've seen that COVID resembles it, of course the stock market crash causing a global financial collapse is a major aspect of it. A major aspect of it. Need to tuck in my gloves a bit, so you have to settle up a bit. Let's keep walking, keep marching. On this march, it's going to be more than 3 hours. Covered a good terrain. Pretty good terrain, we'll say. A good square kilometers. I believe it's going to be total about 13.4 estimate, 13.4. I kind of know the trajectory, although didn't quite go the same as another trajectory. Took another complementary street, but not that far off. Didn't diverge much in terms of divergent. Anyways, on this march, calling all willingly loving, support the mission, vision, and philosophy. The dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, which are one empire, the sun and stars on earth. Put this citizen integration theory into practice, coupled with democratic fusion theory, establishing public-private partnerships, and debt refusion theory to create, establish, and institutionalize the two complementary covenant cooperative institutions. A dancing goddess army, officially international integrated dance league, with the international citizen integrated social security and service force, aka the dragon army, to be of security and service 24/7, with dual exchanges on the Sabbath, of course. Dual exchanges on the Sabbath. Sabbath begins Friday at midnight, lasts 37 hours, 49 minutes, and 42 seconds, almost 38. Almost 38 hours. Almost 30 hours. Dancing goddess in the dragon kingdom. A Sabbath for the recreation, rejuvenation, pleasure and purpose of the dancing goddess in the dragon kingdom, the youth especially, but primarily, but not only, to have dances, feast, eating, and legalizing most drugs. Not the dangerous ones, of course. but most. Cannabis, cocaine, speed, ecstasy, those types of drugs. Those types of drugs. So not all. Not ALL, but on some fries. Imagine World War III nuclear warheads, man. Don't waste any food. Food essential. There you go. Got food in it. Let's see. Way too frozen. Not bad at all. Wow. Pretty good, man. Good fries. Wow, delicious. Delicious fries, I gotta say. Imagine food security. Worst case scenario, don't waste food, man. Food sacred, holy, divine. No waste any food policy. Or at least as can, right? Keep on marching. March west. Marching on these steel-toe boots. Yours truly, Adrian H. Dragonborn, died during COVID. Nothing that I want to go back to. I understand. Yes, I understand the economic, commercial, financial aspect. The players, of course, in the four, I'm going to say patriarchal sports leagues and big business, and they rushed back. I lose their millions, man. I was hoping that my call is going to be answered by many to get the goods before the holidays to the children. I was calling the NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB, to give 10% the players, 20% the owners. I wanted to say one thing that I wanted to do before, say I die, I don't know. Could catch Omicron, could die. Supposedly the vaccines that we got are not that effective against this variant. I'm willing to get the third shot ASAP, third jab in the same place as the goddess tattoo forehead. But that's it. After the third one, well, might as well get some sunlight, which according to an Israeli doctor helps fight the virus, and I've been saying that for a while, and it helps. It doesn't necessarily prevent, but it helps. I'm working out, training, exercising, but I had COVID back at the end of January 2020 until February 20. So end of January 2020 until February 20. Was very sickle and diseased. End of January 2020 until February 20 was sickle and diseased. About for 22 days. Very sick, very ill. End of January 2020 started feeling sick and ill. Got sicker and sicker and ill. Until February 20th. 2020. It was like death, pestilence, and disease. I recovered. In many ways did die during COVID. In in many ways did die. Being reborn Adrian Hanna Dragon, androgynous pansexual founder of the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom. Androgynous pansexual founder thereof, calling all willingly living to support the mission, vision, and philosophy of world peace thereof, to create the two complementary institutions, the dancing goddess and the dragon armies, the dragon army, to secure the three essential elements of civilization. Once those three are secured, we can encourage people to work out, train, volunteer, exercise, do community work, and offer services, whatever services needs to be. No shame, no guilt, with consent, hygiene, and on demand. From what to the best of one's abilities and willingness to what to the needs, right? That maximum, that philosophical principle. Right now, what I could use is a neck rub. Rent is paid. I'm open for business. Been through suicide, depression, illness. I'm double vaccinated, had COVID, and world's greatest living dancing millennial rainbow poet. My scenario resembles COVID, and it had the solution and is the best solution for now. 2022. Citizen integration theory, democratic fusion theory, debt refusion theory, all that trinity of theories. The debt refusion theory, taking all private and public debt. My private is $10,000. If I'm $10,000 in debt, if I'm X, and X would represent the private debt of private citizens like myself. And there's hundreds of thousands, millions, hundreds of millions of X's across Canada, US, Germany, NATO member countries, and the world. All the X's combined, X1 myself plus X2 you and all the other ones. All the X's and the Y would represent the letter Y, as in yesterday. All the public debt, the public will represent Montreal, Canada, US, Germany, Israel, and so on. All the X's, all the Y's together, whatever that number is, credit. Debt refusion theory, taking that number, creating the universal, global central bank to issue a global exchange unit, a universal unit of exchange, and universal exchange unit, UEU, universal exchange unit, UE, a UE, a UE, UEU, a UEU, a UEU, a UE, a UE, based, I'll say, on the value of the US dollar on this February, mid-February, when the 40-day journey ends. So mid-February or so, whatever the value of the dollar, if worst case scenario doesn't completely devalue it, and with inflation, and we could see it, it can happen. Black swan events happened. See maybe the loss of confidence in the US dollar, default, government shutting down, and or the Evergrande situation in China, the building in China. In China, the Evergrande has 300 billion in debt. I'm 10,000, I'm not billion, but I got trillions of kisses credited with a condition to freely distribute to all my willingly loving allies and armies. To all my willingly loving allies and armies. Right here in this Hawk Island, Montreal. Now marching. I'm going to close the circle. Marching west now. That is west and a march west, west, west. As we started, I'm gonna close it. I'll close the circle, but first, I do gotta go see if I can find some club soda for my sister. If it's on special, I'm gonna get 2 club sodas. So got a shopping stop. 1 shopping pit stop. So I'm gonna go around the bout. That means that I'm gonna close the circle like this. I'm gonna close the circle like that. Close the circle like that. Because of course, closing the circle in how I'm going now, it was clockwise. Remember the past weeks we done marched. If anybody watched this long, it's long videos. Unedited, raw, real, revolutionary. And we're marching this way, roundabout. When I started, it's clockwise, right? Going as the sun, west. If start west, basically, to march west, which I did, is clockwise. And west, north, east, southwest. West, north, east, southwest. West, north, east, southwest is clockwise. If I start the other way, as usually I did the past weeks, one's clockwise, the other clockwise. So it's Tuesday today. If Thursday do counterclockwise, means that I'll do east. I'll march east. East, north, west, south, east. That will be counterclockwise. Right? Considering clockwise, it also sees how the universe has its mysteries. It also depends on where we are in the world, though. If we're in the north, right? If we're in the north, but not necessarily if we're in the south. That's a mystery. Mind boggles, right? So these questions are, sometimes it seems this answer is so obvious and simple. It's like the mystery of creation and time that, and I say in my parallel life, science, innovation, and technology is my chosen path where satellites, Elon Musk come for a cup of coffee discussing 1,000 questions on Starlink. Maybe just 999 questions. I got coffee until mid-February for sure, so can offer a cup of coffee, but you don't need my offer. You're good economically, commercially, financially. You're good, bro. But all these mysteries, of course, of science, innovation, and technology, these things around us, how interconnected, how they interconnect, how they work at a fundamental level, at the more general level, which do know generally some of these things. But in the parallel life, science, innovation, and technology, satellites, supercomputers, ICBM rockets, micro gadgets is my chosen path. But in this one is spirituality, psychology, sexuality, art, the irrational, emotional, psychological, artistic, emotional, theoretical, philosophical part of life, which they're complementary. They don't have to be in conflict, right? It doesn't have to be, it can be complementary and not in conflict. It can be complementary and not in conflict. It can be complementary, not in conflict. So marching, I remember that my sister asked to go check if the club soda is on special. So we'll honor that call because it's gonna give me an extra 30 to 45 minutes extra march anyways, which is not bad. So meaning I would cover more than what I set up. What I set up, I said 13.4. So if I do this now, that means it's gonna be 13.9 or 8. and not 0.4. Right? So now I'm marching south again a bit. Just want to get her the club soda, and for myself to get club soda if I find it on special, which I'm hoping that I do find it on special. Look at that big residential building there. Gotta check the time. It's 7:23, so got time until curfew. Curfew, man. I never thought I was gonna live this in my life. Curfew in the free world. It's unprecedented. Health and financial crisis. Health and financial crisis. It is unprecedented. It is unprecedented. Curfew in the free world. Makes me think of, well, it's not the same, of course, and this is the mystery of it. And like I said, I don't know what caused COVID. I believe we snakes to human beings. Since I don't know for sure, I cannot rule out another possibility. What I do know is I'm double vaccinated, willing to get the third, and that have my trinity on COVID. First and foremost, believe it's transmitted from snakes. Second, I don't know for sure. And third, I cannot rule out another possibility, XYZ. Fourth dimension to that trinity is what I do know without a doubt. Is that before COVID had began, due to having analyzed the situation on a global scale, I began a general war integrated total body training system, aka the Dragon Army workout of rules are effective, efficient, and is the required examination for all willingly living to, of course, who will to be a dragon. The rules are simple, effective, and efficient. You got 93 minutes to do 100 push-ups, 100 squats, 100 hocks. With that trinity, of push-ups, squats, hocks. Do 100 push-ups, 100 squats, 100 hocks. 93 days to do it. Maximum 13 reps per set. Minimum 3, anywhere in between 6, 7, 5, 3, 2, 1. Not 1, but minimum 3, that is. You cannot do 1. Correction, correction, correction. It is minimum 93 minutes to complete it. 100 push-ups, 100 hocks, 100 squats, 13 max reps per set, 3 minimum. anywhere in between. You can do 10, recommend 10, you can do 6, anytime different. You get to 100.